Hey everybody, welcome back to Fumble Puck. This is our weekend one-timer as we set you up for the weekend to be aware of what's going on in the Habs world and around the league. My name is Noah. I'm here with Ashley. Ashley, what's up?
Hey, not much. You?
I'm living the dream. I had a good week. I got to watch The Bachelor on Monday. I got to watch the weirdest Masked Singer premiere ever. I'm a little weirded out by it.
Was that Kermit the Frog? Is that the one?
Yeah, spoiler alert. It was Kermit the Frog was the Masked Singer who got unmasked, and that doesn't make any sense to me because he's already a Masked Singer, kind of. It was like Masked Singer Inception. I'm happy that show's back. That's like one of my other guilty pleasures. It's fun. It's like one of those perfect competition shows. So you're going to hear me talk about it probably.
I can't get into it. You made me try last year. I couldn't get into it. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, it's masterful. A really important piece of news, though. So Ivy was able to watch. Ivy's my daughter, for those who aren't aware. She is a little over 2 years old. She was watching the first period of the Habs game with me, and Montreal scored, and she cheered of her own volition, not prompted by me. So as a proud dad moment, Ivy is officially a Montreal Canadiens fan. Sorry, Stacy.
Stacy is his wife, and Stacy is a Maple Leafs fan.
Yes, we don't fight, here. I swear.
Insert booze. Boo. No offense, Stacy. You're great. Just your team selection, not so great. Actually, I have a really funny story, actually.
Yes, please tell.
So it's kind of funny. It's not for my dad, but so my dad got vaccinated yesterday, and I'm really happy that he got vaccinated. Nice. Yeah, and my mom was supposed to too, but there was a mix-up, whatever. So as my dad went to get vaccinated, my mom went to leave to wait outside, and the guy inside said to my mom, "Oh, you can wait with your father."
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, given they both had masks on, and my dad has gray hair and my mother does not, so I get it. But it was kind of funny, and my dad's taking it great, but it's really funny. So I called him up and asked Gramps how his shot was. So.
It's funny what masks can do to people. So I had an employee who obviously he was furloughed for a little bit, and we brought him back. In the time he was gone, he grew a beard, but we didn't know because he always wears a mask. And then one day he was finished working, he was leaving, and as he stepped outside, he took off his mask when he got out, into the fresh air. And we were like, "Who is that guy?" And it was him. So mask change your face. It's interesting.
It is. It's crazy. So yeah, it's what happens, right? And we should all be masking even after you get the vaccine.
Yes, please do.
Save us all.
Okay, so let's dive in. We had two games so far this week, both against Vancouver. The quote of the games, there's two quotes that we need to talk about from Ashley because she's the quote master. The first was, "This is either going to be the best game of the season or the worst game of the season." That was the game yesterday, last night, the 11 o'clock game. But the other quote that I think was spectacular was, "Why the bleep aren't I a coach?" Because, Ashley, you made some line predictions, and they happened, and they worked out. So do we want to go game by game, or we just want to talk about this 1-2 punch of Vancouver?
Maybe game by game, because the first game was rather disappointing, and last night's 11 p.m. game was great. Well, for us who watched it, which was like 6 of us.
I was so tired. Oh, my God.
Like if Phil Deneau scored and no one saw it, does it count?
100% it counts. It has to, because my hopes and dreams matter.
Get some new hopes and dreams, honey.
So March 8th on Monday, we played the Canucks. I thought there was a lot of action in the slot. I thought Gallagher was this complete hot fire right from the start. It was cool to watch him go. And it was weird because it was a 1-goal lead for most of the game, but they were playing like it was a 3-goal lead. Like they felt dominant and comfortable. They weren't worried. They weren't playing scared. And then they got some bad luck at the end of the game. What did you see?
I saw the same as you, but I do have to wonder if their stats, if Carey Price loses the most shutout bids in that fashion. Because I'm pretty sure he does every time. It's like a minute left, 40 seconds left, 3 minutes left, ruined. Every time. It's kind of amazing.
Is that because he offends the hockey gods with his weird hair?
Well, his hair's kind of weird now, but what weird hair? That'd be bird
hair's long right now. It's awkward.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I mean...
I think it might be a hockey god curse for his long hair.
So if he had short hair, this wouldn't happen? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he won the Hart Trophy with short hair. That's all I'm saying.
Well, send him a barber. You know where they are. They're somewhere in Calgary. How hard can it be to find them, right? And send it to Mark Bergevin, too, while you're there.
Yes, please. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The Jeff Petrie train continued in this game. It was great. The other thing that was really cool watching the coverage was it was International Women's Day, right? And what I loved about it was The two anchors for the show, you had Laura Diakin, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and Sammy Joe Small were the two hosts for the night. And what I loved about it was how normal it felt, how great it felt, how it just, I love seeing how the broadcast is evolving and growing in a way that's positive and awesome. And it's flawless. It's smooth. No one could dare complain about it. It was really cool to see. It was a great little extra to that game that night. So really cool. Really great job. Well done for that.
I agree. I would have liked it if they maybe would have had women announcers for the game. I thought that maybe would have made it just a little bit better. I mean, not that it wasn't great, but just, give them like the chance to call the game. But I thought it was awesome. And I like that they did that and gave them the chance to shine. I thought it was great, especially on such a big stage, right? It was great.
I agree. I think it was awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And then last night, the late game, the 11 o'clock game, everyone was insanely tired about. Tell me how tired you were on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm a night owl, so I started off, I was fine. But for some reason, by the middle of the second period, I was like an 8. And then by the third period, I was yawning every time the Habs shot. And the game ended at 1:39 a.m. And I was fast asleep, according to my Fitbit, by 1:46 a.m. So I lasted 7 minutes after the game, and I was passed out, and I was exhausted. I was extremely tired. How about you?
I was ridiculously tired. So that day actually I had to wake up early. I was up at like 6:45 in the morning. And then I was at work at 9. I worked all the way until probably about 8 o'clock at night. It was a long day because we were setting up our patio, nice weather, trying to take advantage of it. I only got home late, and then the game was at 11. So I was up for a good 20 hours by the end of that game. It was something.
Oh, that's brutal. I'm sorry. And I was busy texting you pictures of our logo, which is coming soon.
It worked. It kept me awake. It was perfect. When you get that big of a lead against the team, you kind of want to check out a little bit, not pay as much attention. So I appreciate keeping me alive,
Anytime. Always here for that.
You made a prediction on the lines. You were talking about KK and Galley. They finally did it. I don't think anyone would argue that it wasn't awesome to watch. Talk to me about that a little bit. I'd love to hear you gloat about how great a call that was.
Well, so a couple of weeks ago, I've been saying it for a really long time, but we'll start with a couple of weeks ago because it's been like a year. But anyways, about a few weeks ago, I tweeted out some line ideas, and it was actually Toffoli, KK, and Gallagher was my actual line. And I was saying how, honestly, so Toffoli's shooting all the time. KK loves to pass. And Gallagher loves to crash the net, and they need that on that line. Because if you have Armia, he doesn't really crash the net compared to Gallagher. No one on our team, except for maybe Corey Perry, crashes the net like Gallagher. So I always thought that would be a great, great fit. And KK can learn from Gallagher and see what, not that KK has to, learn how to be a pro or anything, but he can learn from Gallagher what Gallagher does and how he, crashes the net and gets the puck in and goes to the dirty areas. And I love it. And Gallagher also can pass, and Toffoli loves to shoot too. Sorry. Yes, go.
Do you think that if you were an assistant coach for the Canadiens, Claude Julien would have kept his job?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, if he would listen to me and my ideas, possibly, because not all my ideas are horrible. So maybe if he would have implemented some of my ideas, then possibly. I don't know enough about hockey to coach. I really don't. I can watch it and see understand the game. I don't understand the analytics like you do, as you know. But I do think that I have eyes, and I see things developing. And I definitely don't have high hockey IQ or anything. And I can't understand half the terminology that they use, like shooting from the half wall and the slot. I understand the basics of it, but I never played hockey in my life. So I don't understand the game in that sense. However, from watching so many games and perspectives and stuff, yeah, I think he maybe would have stayed on a little bit longer because if he would have listened to me, but that's the key word, listen to Ashley. We should hashtag that. Hashtag listen to Schlee. Okay?
I like that. Yeah, that's the one for the day. I dig it.
Hashtag listen to Schlee. That's what it should be. And I was right, wasn't I? I also said it'd be our best or worst game of the season. It was a 50-50 chance. But I was right. It was everyone's saying it was our best game of the season. It's I called that too.
I think it was our best. Right from the first power play shift that happened, that first power play shift of the game was off the charts wild. This high energy, keeping control, making plays. It seems like they never took their foot off the gas. It was just high octane fun. Everyone you'd want to see scored, and wow. Can we do that again tonight, please?
I'm worried about tonight, but that Corey Perry goal, what a beauty goal. Like, I understand he can't skate anymore, but his hands are better than, as I said last show, his hands are the best on the team. His hands are amazing. Like, he can it's amazing how he just dangles and scores. And it's like, what? Like, amazing. I wish Gallagher would have had those hands. I wish our whole team had those hands, really. But, like, can you teach that?
Sneaky and cheeky.
Can you teach that?
Like, well, I can't. I could probably teach someone how to like count a cash or like make toast. That's all I can teach.
Can you teach Ben Sherratt, aka #Hot Sherratt, to stop fighting if he doesn't break his hand anymore? Because that was really good.
Oh my God, what a waste! We were talking last game about fighting a little bit, right? The Colton Orr George Parros piece. And This was kind of like, this just makes me think about it even more. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? I know like Ben Sherratt's had a rough couple of games, right? Obviously, but you don't want to see a guy go down. Depth is important. And now this is getting Victor Mete into the lineup, right? Which is a whole different style of play. You have to rework your entire defensive strategy, basically. So it's a
mess. Yeah, it's a mess. I would actually recall Fleury, to be honest.
I like Cale Fleury. I'm a big Cale Fleury fan, so I would be okay with that. That would be fun. They could probably do it. I don't know if the trick would be there'd be cap implications for that, right? Like you don't want to add the salary to the roster daily because you're still trying to save it on those day-to-day transactions. So I don't know if that'll happen, but I would definitely like it if that did.
Me too. I think that might be the better move, though, than anyone else we have available to play. But we'll see. And I know tonight it's Mete, and I'm really happy. I pronounced his name wrong last podcast. I'm really sorry. But Romanov is playing with Weber tonight again, which is something else I called for many weeks. So I'm very excited about that as well. So the lineups are staying the same as last night, which is weird because why isn't Lehkonen coming in? He's fresh. I would have put Lehkonen over like Armia or Byron or someone just because.
Breaks my heart.
Pardon?
Breaks my heart.
I know. I wonder if Lehkonen will play defense. If he would play defense, then he would be able to come in, and he's very defensive. So maybe he should think about it, you know?
Who is he? Mitch Marner?
No. Mitch Marner never played defense, did he?
No, but there's all kinds of people on Twitter who joke about that. They're like, he'd be the perfect puck-moving defenseman.
Well, I think Lehkonen would be the perfect puck-moving defenseman.
So that's the same. Then Artturi Lehkonen is the same as Mitch Marner. Got it. We're done. That's the line. I will repeat that till the day I die.
Okay. Not quite what I meant, but it's all good. I'll take it. You know what? I'll take it. Is there a hashtag for that? Probably not. We're going to over hashtag the hell out of it.
Over hashtag. Hashtag over hashtag. So we got Calgary coming up, right, for 2 games in a row. What are some things we need to see? What are some things we want to see? What are you looking for with these games?
I would copy, paste, repeat last night's game, to be honest with you. We were all over them. We were forechecking like it was going out of style. We're a 5-man unit, just forecheck. I loved it. I thought it was fun. It was exciting hockey. I hope we can do that against Calgary tonight. I really don't think we're going to win tonight solely because of the jet lag factor. They didn't get in apparently until 2:30 a.m. Calgary time. Then they had to go to the hotel, 3:30 a.m., got to bed around 4 a.m., have a game at 9. Like, this is so not fair on the part of scheduling. Why didn't they give us today off and have a back-to-back Friday, Saturday? What could like the Saddle Dome, is that what it's still called? Or whatever it's called now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, what could they be doing that's so busy? Like, I don't get it. But, I mean, Calgary has a new coach. They want to impress the new coach. Not looking great for us. I mean, we played fabulous last night, but I totally understand, no pun intended, if we hashtag flame out tonight. But I do think we'll win on Saturday. Sorry to overpun this. I'm not overpun that too, but sorry to over hashtag this. Yeah, I think we'll win Saturday. I just think tonight might be a little bit harder. But hey, you know what? Jake Allen's been great so far. Victor Mete is like one of our best skaters, and he has fresh legs, so maybe he'll be able to play, 30 minutes. Oh boy. And help us. And just, we have to honestly establish the lead early and keep pressing and try not to fall asleep on the ice.
Try not to fall asleep. Yeah. Do you think the coach let them sleep in today, or do you think it's like he doesn't care? It's like, go, time to skate. Like, let's make it happen. I
really hope they slept in today. They didn't get into their rooms till 4 a.m. That's not fair. Like, sleep in till noon if you have to. I don't care what you have to. I mean, it's going to screw up their whole game day, but I would.
They need rest. Yeah, they need rest, you know?
Well, for sure. And they played a really good game last night. And they were out west. Like, don't forget, they flew from our time zone out to the West Coast. So they were playing at 10 p.m. and then 11 p.m., which is, again, ridiculous. So hopefully they got to sleep in a little bit, or at least till like 10. I don't know, 6 hours enough? Probably not.
Speaking of rest, we actually got a question from one of our brand new fans. Swandad on Twitter, that's at Swandad, asked us. He said it was a softball question, but we're still going to answer it, of course. So Jake Allen's in nets tonight. Should the Habs have kept Price and rolled with Price 2 games in a row, rolling with the hot hand, or was it the right choice getting Jake Allen in tonight? What do you think?
I personally think it's the right call to play Jake Allen. I think back-to-back isn't necessarily necessary, especially at this point of the season, especially after last night where he was playing until 1:30 in the morning our time. So I think it was the right call to go with Jake Allen tonight. What do you think, Noah?
I think it was the right call, too. I have read, I know Dom from The Athletic wrote a really good piece, probably like a year or two ago now, on rest in goalies. And there is some data that might suggest that goalies are actually good in back-to-back scenarios. But we don't have enough information to make that call realistically, concretely right now. And the other reason why I think going with Jake Allen's the right thing is because if Carey Price played tonight and we lost, the market would freak out and they'd try to kill someone. So I feel like the Habs fans can't handle that yet. So Jake Allen, for both reasons, is the right call. And he's been great also, right? So what do we have to lose?
I agree 100%. I also want to say, though, Carey Price has been amazing the last couple games. He's really turned it around. And I really noticed how he's standing up more, which is also something I've been saying for 3 years, that he goes down way too early. So I'm loving this Stefan Waite for a Sean Burke change so far. Even though he's not here yet, but I love that he's standing up, or Marco, good job, Marco, that he's standing up and he's more square to the puck and he looks bigger in the net. And even though he's still wearing red pads, they do have white on them near the ice, so it confuses the skater just a little bit. I think he should go for webbing pads, like pads that look like the net.
That sounds like cheesy gamemanship, and I'm here for it.
But just think, it'd be super confusing for other teams. You want to confuse the other teams, put a crazy design on them like a net. What
about flashing lights on your pads? Or what about like a little voice recorder on your pads? When someone gets close to you, it makes like a kazoo noise, like just to freak them out.
Ooh, is that possible?
I don't know, but like maybe you just try it out and like it'll become the next Sean Avery rule. You only make the rule after the bad thing happens, you know? Hey, why not?
Hey, Bauer, CCM, you listening? We have some ideas.
You make it like a chicken sound. So like when someone gets close to you, goes, and like they lose the puck.
I love it. Or someone starts yelling at you.
I think you've answered why we're not coaches, by the way.
This is how Noah and I play the game. We put flashing lights to blind the opponent. We make sounds.
Yeah, like all the advantages.
Well, it's like those fans that wear those like neon colors in the stands. You're like, what are we doing? We see you. We're now blind, but we see you. Like, stop. And then they dance around. It's like, stop. Or they bang on the glass. It's another one. Oh, I hate the bangers on the glassers. Like, stop. Like, no.
Bangers on the glassers.
Yeah, the bangers on the glassers. Drive me crazy. Oh my God. Yeah, not a fan. Anyways, Noah, what other team games are a must watch this weekend?
Yeah, so we've got four things to watch for this weekend that we thought were relevant and good for any hockey fan to step outside Montreal's bubble for a bit. Friday night, you got Minnesota versus Arizona playing. The reason why you want to watch that game, if you haven't seen Minnesota play yet, they are fun. I know that's weird, but they're winning games. They're in a playoff spot comfortably right now. And beating up on the Arizona Coyotes is always a pleasure. So watching that's great. Always get a little soft spot in my heart for Minnesota because of Mikko Koivu. As a Montreal fan, right? And it's cool to see that team be exciting again.
I keep hearing how wonderful. I think it's Kaprizov. Is that his name?
Kaprizov. Yeah, he's lights out.
I keep hearing
he might be better than Marian Gaborik was for them, and that's cool. All right, then Saturday we got the Panarin watches back on. We're hoping he comes back. So Saturday we've got New York, the Rangers playing Boston. If Artemi Panarin comes back, you got to turn on your TV and see what happens. He had a little bit of off-ice trouble where he wasn't able to play some games. If he's back, if you have a fantasy team, get him off the IR, get him off the bench, and get him in your lineup. It should be fun. The other thing on Saturday that's exciting is we're going to have we got Toronto versus Winnipeg coming again, right? There's like a whole stretch. And by the way, I believe Toronto's losing to them right now, if that's correct. I think it's
I'm going to check, but they were last I saw. They're losing 2-1, 7:48 left in the second.
So that game has implications for us, obviously. Toronto's got a bit of a rough stretch right now. Hallelujah. And the Winnipeg Jets are trying to create space between us and them. So watching that game in terms of the standings will matter. And then last but not least, Sunday, the Los Angeles Kings versus the Colorado Avalanche. Great Sunday evening hockey. the Colorado Avalanche are one of those teams that went into the season as Stanley Cup contenders. Philip Grubauer's been playing Vezina-level hockey, lights out. So they're exciting to watch. And if you need something to do on an afternoon where and the NFL's not on right now, that's where you should be turning your TV to. So that's our little weekend one-timer set up for the games this week.
Actually, LA King have been shocking everybody by winning a bunch, and they're doing really well as of late, which is surprising to a lot of people that I know who are Kings fans. So it's great. And I know you don't like the Kings, but I do. So I'm very happy for them that they're doing well.
Thank you. I totally didn't point that out. That's awesome. I appreciate the backup there.
Is that sarcasm?
No, I'm dead serious. This is why you're here. I can't do this. I'm not good at this.
Clearly, neither am I, but it's okay.
Okay. As we're winding down here, getting to the end of this, we have our hot takes and predictions. I want one hot take from you for this weekend.
Okay. Hot take for this weekend. I'm going to go with
Bergevin's going to make a trade by Monday. That's my prediction.
Wow, that is a good prediction. Okay.
That's not going to happen, by the way.
That's bold. If you want a hot take, that's as spicy as it gets. That's like the ghost pepper level of a hot take. You know what my hot take is going to be?
What?
Victor Mete goal this weekend. Hey, Phil Deneau scored last night, so you never know. The stars are aligning.
It's the apocalypse, man.
And then someone's dumb take, someone else is going to have a dumb hot take that's going to pop up on Twitter that we want to preemptively tell everyone to avoid. I don't want to hear anyone talk about Sam Bennett for Phil Deneau. That would be awful. That would be stupid. If that hot take pops up, don't block the person because that's unreasonably mean. Just please make sure your head's screwed on properly and ignore that dumb hot take.
I know a lot of people who have been tweeting about that, by the way, and talking to me about that.
Of course. I'm not surprised. It's a dumb hot take that, of course, would pop up as we roll into town in Calgary.
All right, to end this, let's just do one last segment, which is our newsworthy opinions. So let's talk about the CFL and the XFL. I'm a big CFL fan, big Alouettes fan. My dog was named Pringle after Mike Pringle for she's gone now for like 5 years. But yeah, she lived to 17 and a half. So what do you think about this? Because I have some opinions. What do you think?
I think it's super cool. For me, there's a question of like heritage versus longevity if you're talking about this. But so for those who haven't heard, the CFL is supposed to be entering into talks with the Rock and the XFL in order to see if there's a way that those leagues can maybe merge or work together in a bid to kind of keep the CFL solvent and able to operate. Because we know that with COVID, everything's business is hard pressed. I work in Lansdowne Park in Ottawa. I'm there every day, and it's a little bleak without the stadium being filled, right? So if they can get some revenue in their pockets, I think working with the XFL is cool. You get American teams coming in, you get American money coming in. The balance, like I said, is how do you keep it to still feel a little Canadian? Because I imagine you'll get some more American rules, etc. But is this a conversation that the league should be having with the XFL? Abso-freaking-lutely. I think it's a good idea. I'm excited to see where this goes. I would say anybody listening to this, that's news you got to watch for the next little while to see where it lands.
So I think my opinion is very much in line with yours, except I have a bit of a suggestion. So you have the NFL, which is obviously the biggest football league, right? And it's the best, according to many people. I personally like the CFL. Don't hashtag and yell at me for that, but that's just my opinion. I think it's more fun. Wouldn't it be interesting if the XFL wants to rebrand themselves, if they want to adapt to the CFL's rules? It'll make it different than the NFL. The players from Europe have to come over and learn the rules anyway, so who cares if they're learning NFL or CFL rules? And it could really make for really interesting if they ever do play games against each other. You don't have to wonder, is it CFL or NFL rules? It can just be CFL rules that everyone gets to try in the XFL. And it's in my opinion, again, it's way more fun. I love the CFL rules. I'm like, they can have the Rouge. I know I saw it trending on Twitter earlier today, hashtag save the Rouge. I agree. I don't know. I just think it'd be really, really interesting if they adopted the CFL rules. What's your thought on that?
I think that's a really cool idea, actually. I think that's awesome. I would totally, that's a great way to look at it that I didn't even consider talking about this. I think that's wicked.
Me and my mom were talking about this earlier because she's the biggest Alouettes fan ever. So we were talking about this joint venture, and I said and she was saying how that would be awesome. I said, I agree with you. I think it'd be cool. And I said, wouldn't it be great if they adopted those rules and then they were playing
to make themselves different, because who wants to watch the same football league twice? Like, it's kind of silly in my opinion, just saying. So make it like the CFL, and let's bring some CFL action to the US. There's a lot of American CFL fans, and did you know that The Rock he was on this Calgary Stampeders roster. I don't know if he ever played for them, but he was on their roster.
Yeah, and The Rock is actually part Canadian, right? Like,
I know. His dad was...
like, he's got a soft spot for Canada, and so hey, everything The Rock touches turns to gold. My friend RJ said that the other day, and I think they're onto something working with him.
Well, I can smell what The Rock is cooking, and I really like this idea. What about you?
That's amazing. I think it's a great idea. Like I said, this is something to keep our eyes on for the next little while. It would be hard to imagine a way in which this became bad news.
I agree. I think it's wonderful. And I'm very supportive of it. I love the CFL. I want them to prosper. I want them to do well. I hope our new owners get to actually see a game. That'd be great. And I can't wait for the season to start. Well, I can, because I want hockey to go. I want us to play until then, but I can't. After hockey, I'd like to have something to do for a couple of months this year. So
after we draft 32nd.
Yes, exactly. That's what I want. After you draft 32nd, win that cup. And I'm so excited for the draft to be in July. I really hope we get some random people who are amazing, because they're not moving it. I saw that today, that it's staying in July. It's official, I think, right?
I'm not sure. I might have missed that. I was being a dad all day. That's very possible I missed that part.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I saw on NHL.com. I can't even speak. On NHL.com today that it was official. The draft is going to be in July, or they're sending out letters. NHL draft on schedule for July. Yeah. So lottery may get a couple of tweaks. Daily says pandemic has effect on scouting. I think it's great. I like how our logo is like right in the middle of this graphic. Anyways, I think it's great. Again, off topic, but I can't wait to see the draft and see who we pick who we pick. 32nd overall.
All right. I think that's it for today. I think that's our coverage, right?
Yeah. Short, sweet.
Awesome. This has been your weekend one-timer. Hope everyone enjoyed the show. I'm Noah. I'm here with Ashley, and we'll be going to watch the game right now. The game starts in 20 minutes.
Make sure you check us out on our social media channels. We're at FumblePuckPod on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We also are on almost every single available podcast stations, including Apple and Spotify, Google, and a bunch of others. We're also at Anchor's website. You can find us there. Please let us know what you think. Thank you to everybody who has given us feedback. Thank you for the questions, Swan Dad. Anybody else have questions, please let us know. We'd be really happy to answer them. And have a good night, and hashtag Go Habs Go.
Go Habs Go, guys.